from Southern Maryland's weather leader. This is a JB Weather Alert.
Hello and good afternoon, Southern Maryland. I am Forecaster John Bordash with you in the JB Weather Center. This afternoon, we sit right about 441, tracking our season's latest winter storm, definitely in full swing across the Mid-Atlantic. If you are able to hear me, let me know that you're able to hear me in the comments, and we will make sure that we are all good to go, because the last thing we need is for me to get too far into this before I know that there are audio issues. But assuming you can hear me, we have seen our winter weather really move in here kind of over the last 4 to 5 hours or so. We really kind of saw the snow pick up just pick up in its coverage across the region as we headed right around the lunch hour. And here over the last couple of hours, we've started to see the snow pick up in intensity a bit, and we're looking at some bands of moderate to heavy snow beginning to set up. And I see that you all are able to hear me, which is great to hear. So as we take a look currently at live William Richmond Inc. radar, and let's go ahead and pause this right about now, sitting at 442, we can see that everywhere shaded here in blue represents those areas of snow, and we are beginning to see some of these pockets of snow develop down here to the south of Washington, D.C., across southern Maryland, that could potentially indicate maybe some heavier snow where you see those darker blues. I am a bit cautious, though, about a couple of things here. And what I want to do, and I want to see if I'm able to do this properly. We're going to hope and pray for the best. This is what I want. There we go. I'm going rid of that ticker. So this is a look at what we call our similarity product out of our radar system. And radar allows us to do a few things. It can tell us where it's raining, when it's snowing, where we have winds, and in what directions those winds are turning. It also can tell us what we're looking at on the atmosphere. And when we're using this product, it really is just to tell us is what's falling out of the sky the same shapes. Where we start to see colors that are like the purple, these deep purples up through here, that tells us that we have similar items. But when we start to see these areas of like yellow and green, we're looking at some dissimilar items. And this tells me that we are potentially looking at a little bit of sleet, maybe trying to mix in through this region. Now, it's not widespread enough, I think, to really kind of totally change the forecast, but this has been in the forecast, right? Pockets of sleet that may try to mix in as temperatures hover right around freezing. And sure enough, that is indeed what we have going on across the region. So radar right now is saying that this is all snow for the time being, and for the most part, I actually do think that it is snow. Let me bring it back on in here. And we can see snow is pretty much widespread throughout much of the Mid-Atlantic, and again, really focusing on the southern parts of the region. And I see a couple comments. We got some sleet mixing in down towards Lesby, and again, that doesn't really surprise me. If I had to kind of guess right now, I think our sleet line where sleet's possible is kind of right through here, and that's kind of what our models were suggesting earlier today. And this is going to be that area where we are going to be watching for mixing here. But where you're not mixing, you're then seeing heavy snow, right? So we are looking at bands of heavy snow beginning to really set up shop here towards the Chesapeake Beach region, back towards the Plata. So you are looking at a nice little band. Well, we're looking at a couple bands here of more moderate snow, maybe a more like heavy snow, kind of where I'm drawing these boxes. These are kind of areas of snow, and if it is indeed all snow, this would be another band of snow. And I see some comments saying like, reporting that we have all snow in Lexington Park, but there's that sleet a little bit in Lesby to the north. So it kind of shows you the dynamic aspect to this system. And we're already beginning to see school closings and delays for tomorrow roll in. This map was updated as of about 5 minutes ago. I've not been back into it, but we see a lot of schools on out towards parts of Virginia already already closing for our day here on Wednesday. And I want to double check to see if we have anything new coming in just yet. I'm not seeing anything with our local school districts So as you see, counties there shaded in red represent those closings. I do expect those closings to be region-wide. The school lots posted right around 3 o'clock, right when I got out of school, shows I think many areas south of Baltimore are likely to see closures for the day tomorrow. You can get an updated version of the school status at jbweather.net/closings. I keep that updated pretty frequently, and I figure while we don't have much coming in right now, try to get one of these live streams in here for you. Winter storm warnings remain in effect. Those took effect around lunchtime. Stay with us through about 7 a.m. on Wednesday, focusing south of Baltimore. And this is kind of the general look at what I'm going to be tracking here over the next, let's call it 12 hours or so. I think regions really south of the Mason-Dixon line, the heaviest precipitation. Light snow gets up towards the Harrisburg region. We have a growing contingency, Harrisburg and York. Light snow up there, looking at impacts. But I think we're looking at moderate snow from the Mason-Dixon line points south. And while I do this, I'm going to try to, we can already see, I'm trying to do a couple things at once here. I want to download those school outs, get those put here into the show so that we are good to go with that so you all can see what those school outs forecasts are. Whoop, there we go. Let's go ahead and put that in. Oh. There we go. That's what I was talking about. School lots. I think many school districts south of Baltimore are very likely to close for the day on Wednesday. School districts along the Mason-Dixon line on either side, I think delays are likely. Closing definitely possible. About 50-50 shot in my school down here in Central PA. Students all day were and staff were asking me all day about school lots. And then closer to Harrisburg, maybe just looking at delays where you're looking at a little bit less. But winter storm warnings in effect, and I think areas south of Washington, D.C. are going to be the regions that we're going to watch for not just heavy snow, but a little bit of sleet mixing in, right? So those areas that are shaded in orange, I think that's an area that sees some of the heaviest snow, but pockets of sleet moving in off and on, off and on. So we're going to continue to watch that. And then to the south where you have that area pink, that's an area that's seeing mainly snow right now, but that's likely going to transition to more of a sleety, icy mix as we head on over towards the evening hours as we approach about 7 or 8 o'clock. And then a little bit more rain down to the south of Tappahannock and Salisbury. Let me show you the latest run of Cedar Point Federal Credit Union Future Cash. Just ran this when I got home, and you can see that it has snow region-wide, some of the heavier snows south of Washington, D.C., which does continue throughout much of the evening. And you can see that sleet line trying to dance around a little bit, getting close to our region here in southern Maryland. And then snow showers on up towards the north, and this really does continue throughout the evening. The overnight hours, looking at bands of snow, that moderate snow to the south, even snow as far north as York and Harrisburg continuing, and then we start to see the precip generally cut off as we head towards sunrise, but then you can see a secondary area of some additional snow showers north and west of Washington, D.C., and again, snow and sleet showers south of D.C. as well. So that's a general look at what we have going on in terms of futurecast, still holding with this forecast area south of Baltimore, looking at a general 4 to 7 inches, up over 6 inches looking possible, if not likely, from Harrisonburg to Fredericksburg to D.C. to Prince Frederick, and kind of zooming in here, you can see where the heaviest snow totals are. We do currently have snow reports coming in from the southern Shenandoah Valley of up over 9 inches of snow down there, so that might translate into some heavier snow rates here in southern Maryland this evening. But it's this area south of Prince Frederick, south of La Plata, that we will watch for the potential for sleet this evening. We're already seeing that start to take effect across some of those zones. And this is a general look at impact. I already see some questions about what's 3 a.m. going to look like. What are we doing traveling? I think someone is able to see. Oh, there it is. The goldfish right there. But snow has moved in. We're looking at periods of heavy snow beginning to develop. Travel throughout the overnight is going to be difficult, and going into tomorrow morning, things might clear up as we head towards the afternoon hours of tomorrow. But again, that's why we're expecting widespread school closures throughout the region for your day here on Wednesday. So lots to track, lots going on. It's definitely keeping me busy, and I wish I was getting more sleep than I currently am. But you know, it's all a part of the game. And what I can show you here actually is some of these snowfall reports. See, I turn these tickers off. There we go. Some of these snowfall reports down here to the south. I mean, Charlottesville already have 4 inches. Staunton, 4 inches just south of there, though, 8 inches, 10 inches down towards the Lexington area, and we're getting an 11-inch report on up towards Covington. So you can see decent bit of snow down to the south and west. It's going to try to push on up here, and you can really see where those heaviest bands are setting up, and I see some reports of sleet trying to come on into the region. So stay tuned. We'll continue to keep you updated. You get all the forecast details at jbweather.net. Also have a whole bunch of details on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube that you can always access to get my latest coverage. Have a nice and safe one. Keep it tuned here to JB Weather. I'll be here in the Weather Center throughout the evening into the overnight hours tracking the latest information, and we'll have updates on school closings and delays throughout the evening as well. Have a nice and safe one. I'm Forecaster John Bordash, and we shall talk soon.
Check the forecast anytime online at jbweather.net.